From PlebLab in Austin, Texas, this is Stacker News Live!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name is Car. I'm with Keyan. Keyan, how's your Friday going?
Oh, man, it's a good Friday. I think I got bit by a dog last night.
On the way home? On
my walk home, there was like a dog that was out of its yard, and I thought it would be like I walk by so many dogs that are out of the yards, and I thought it'd be a cool dog, but it started charging me.
What kind of dog was it?
It was like a little tiny, dog. It was
You made it seem like I was thinking it was like some like Doberman Pinscher, like.
Well, I'm not in the hospital or something. It was just like a little tiny dog, but it was like rabid. It chased me, and then I kind of like tried to run away, and its dog friend from the same yard also escaped to the yard, and then they both started like nipping at my
dogs get loose, man.
Ankles. Yeah, it's the first time it's it's surprising. It's the first time it's happened. That happened. There's other stuff that happened. I'm getting a new desk delivered today. Hopefully,
dude, no, that came in.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, no one told me about.
Austin was like trying to pick it up. I was like, "Who's that? Whose desk is that?"
Oh, no one told me.
We'll get it afterwards.
Oh,
I was like, I got.
It's a new floor to standing desk, but it like has room underneath it, so it's going to replace my current desk. It's
fancy.
Pretty. Yeah, but that's about it.
Super fancy.
It's not that fancy. It's a floor to standing desk. It's not as fancy as a.
What are you gonna do with your other desk?
I don't know. Maybe I'll. I don't know. It's a dog grooming desk that I converted into a
dog grooming.
Yeah, it's a dog grooming table. Like you put a dog on it on the floor, and then you raise it up, and then you shear it.
Oh, is that why you sit down? So this way you're not gonna be able to sit down anymore?
This one goes floor to standing, so I could sit on the floor, or I could stand, or I could do a normal
For
sitting.
people who don't know, Keyan likes to sit Indian style, code to code.
I like to do all kinds of floor.
That's the only person I know who does that, or I've ever seen do that.
Well, this company, they make desks specifically for people like me. So there's more of me out there than you guys realize.
He sits on a carpet.
It's the first company.
And he sits Indian style. And then
it's a Persian carpet. Yeah.
Yeah. Do your knees don't get like locked up doing sitting Indian style like that?
Well, no, you get used to it. That's the thing.
Okay.
Actually, your body gets locked up sitting in a chair. Like your hips become all immobile and stuff. That's why it hurts when you get into another posture.
It's a fun fact.
It is a fun fact. Fun fact. Okay. Anyway, how was your week, Car?
It was good. It was good. Yeah, it was a good week. I think. A lot of cool stuff coming out.
Yeah.
With that, we're going to get into the top 5 stories. If you don't know what top 5 stories are here on Stacker News Live, we cover the top 5 stories every week on the front page of Bitcoin. That's stacker.news. If you don't know what that is, go check it out. But we're going to cover all the top 5 posts that all the stackers have voted for this week. Again, I don't get to pick any of them. Keyan doesn't get to pick any of them. Just as from the stackers.
Yeah.
At the end of the top 5, we go through our own kind of list that we think we should bring up. But for the most part, this is all the community telling us what to talk about. Again, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I think I do. Keyan, probably more knowledgeable on these subjects than I am.
No,
you're not. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So don't take our word for it.
Yeah, don't listen to this at all. Actually, you're making a mistake.
Dude, people actually listen to this. I think they want to hear our comments. I like from what the stackers have told me, the SNL listeners and viewers, they're like, they love our commentary on it. Somebody told me in Mexico that they love how dumb I am, and they love me asking.
Did they
questions.
really say?
Yeah.
Dumb?
It was like not dumb, but like we love your
backhanded compliment.
We love your pleb approach to.
Ooh, yeah.
This asking questions. So
wow.
Hey man, I don't mind being that guy.
Yeah.
I don't mind asking the dumb questions for the stackers.
We can tell.
Yeah.
The
first top story is gold hoarders were persecuted in the 1930s. What will happen with Bitcoin? This is from Signal 312. 23 hours ago, a Bitcoin post, 31 comments, 18,400 sats. Woo!
Yeah, this is really cool. So I don't know, like a lot of us, kind of anticipate when Bitcoin becomes successful that it might, the government might dip back into its playbook with gold and start seizing Bitcoin. And so if you wanted to be prepared for that, what you would do is you would go back and study as much of that period of history as you can.
Wow. Is this what this person did?
That's what they did. They went and they did a bunch of research and pulled up as many, a bunch of articles roughly from basically right after, I believe it was Roosevelt enacted Executive Order 6102,
Yeah,
which pretty much
6102.
made it illegal to own gold. And and this is kind of these are from the paper, so this is kind of public sentiment around it, and filtered through, of course, media like today. One of the more but basically, it is a lot of it demonizes people who are possessing gold and not giving it back to the government. I believe around this period of time there was like liquidity problems, and the government needed its gold back to be able to meet its own fiscal needs. And so these people were seen as kind of like enemies of the United States, is kind of the framing.
I feel like this post never ends.
It's a very long post.
Did you read through all of it?
I read through all of it. I mean, it's a pretty simple read. I don't know if we wrote more simply back then or something, but it's a pretty straightforward read. At both the front and the end, there's commentary from the person who aggregated all of the research. But the biggest at the bottom, he says, my biggest takeaway is privacy and non-KYC Bitcoin is more important than you think. So part of what happened here that allowed them to be quite successful in repossessing all the gold was every time you would go and get gold from the bank, you would be entered in a registry. And so
similar to what they're doing right now with exchanges, right?
Yeah. So it's like they KYC'd you for owning gold. And when they wanted your gold, what they did was they put out, basically a warrant for everyone on this list to return their gold, and had the expectation. There's documented like people who weren't going to give it back freely.
Do you think that could really happen, Keyan?
Got taken to court.
Do you think we're headed in that direction? Like, honestly.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the future holds. This is something governments are capable of doing. These are things that,
Even in Texas, though?
Newspapers printed. I think, Texas is quite, its political leanings tend to blow around a bit. I think, if it becomes like, this is if the framing is, this is in the national security interest, this is for the United States, this is for a war against Russia or China or whoever, becomes like Bitcoiners are Russian and Chinese. Like that's what if it gets framed that way, the free state of Texas now becomes like not so free, because freedom is about protecting ourselves from our enemies or whatever, and then we're the enemy. And it's like I think it can happen, dude. I mean, I don't know if it will happen, but this is clearly in the humans' wheelhouse of like things that they will do. That's why learning about history is so important. Totally. If you want to predict the future.
Yeah. Let's look at what the stacker said. The stacker said, top comment from Lux, it's not about privacy, it's about knowing how to exercise your rights. The order applies only to persons, not to living men. You either govern yourself or someone else will. Yeah, Darth Coin says, I do not consent to be governed. Show me the contract signed by both parties, me and the government, in which I agree to be governed. Does it exist?
This is Darth Coin stance. It's pretty hard stance.
Govern me harder, governor. That's the opposite of that, I imagine. Don't try to bend the government. That's impossible. Instead, only try to realize the truth. There is no government, only banks and corporations.
Wow.
That's pretty based. Yeah, loving these images now. You guys upgraded the images, right?
Yeah, Exeus spent a lot of time and work really making sure that worked great. And we're proxying them for your privacy, so you're not leaking your IP addresses around the internet.
Looks like Darth Coin also linked this website. I'm afraid to click on it, but here we go.
Okay.
6102bitcoin.com. What is going on? What is this? Did you look at this? Oh, wow.
Oh, is this maybe like
it's a war game? What?
Interesting. Yeah, this is thinking through them trying to take down Bitcoin.
Wow. Interesting. Okay, well, check out that.
Looks like it's a GitHub project, so someone anonymously hosted it.
Give that one. That's a good one. Yeah, we got Kepler. He says, certainly possible, but very hard to enforce due to the nature of Bitcoin. If this happens, the best course of action would be to leave, which you'd need to prepare to do ahead of time. Plenty of nations would be happy to accept expats with stacks. U.S. could get could get this desperate, but if they do, it's going to cease being a place I'd live. I'd get my family out. Gosh, dude.
Well, I mean, what do you think these people did when this happened? I mean, it's going to be a lot easier to flee with Bitcoin than anything else. But if you're on one of these lists, why wouldn't, you know, one of the first things they might do is block your passport from, you know, from international travel, from leaving. You just don't know. I think, you know, soothing yourself by saying this kind of stuff can't happen or won't happen this time. You're smarter.
Yeah.
The world is different. You don't know. It's better to be prepared for the worst.
You got Maller's head. He said Americans mostly handed their gold in voluntarily as an act of patriotism. There weren't any confiscations of individual gold. Prosecutions were rare, and imprisonment almost non-existent. It led to the big thing, which was the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, which dealt with removing the title of gold certificates, paper gold, from private persons and institutions. The act and order weren't repealed until 1964 and 1974, respectively, when Americans could legally hold gold for investment purposes. Gold hoarders weren't particularly liked amongst the public at large because of who they were and how they talked, especially coming out of economic crisis with widespread poverty. I hope Bitcoiners in the branding culture take note. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that scenario playing out where they like blame us for everything. I mean, we kind of have already seen that. Is blame Bitcoiners on everything. Yeah, I suspect that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know what Mallard's head is saying that it wasn't that violent, the repossession of gold, and that might be the case. I don't actually know, but it making, you know, I don't know. It tends to be the position of people who are pro gold and interested in gold that it wasn't so bad the times when gold was repossessed. I don't know what to believe. I don't know enough about the history here, but this is a good
It's a good post though.
Good post, good intro, gets us really started thinking about this stuff.
This is one you should definitely see, Keyan.
Oh wow, you used it. Well, Car now has one bookmark.
Come back to this later.
10 years
No,
later.
I have like several bookmarks. Just started using it more recently.
Okay.
The next top story is cut the crap and stop creating Bitcoin BS idols. This is from Fed Lang, October 3rd. Bitcoin post, 60 comments, 15.8K sats. Oh, wow. This was close neck and neck as far as the top story. Why did this one lose? Gold gets people going, probably.
Yeah. Let's see.
What's
oh, right. Yeah.
What's this one about?
Yeah, this one's about Milei, who is running for president in Argentina.
Oh, yeah.
He did an interview with Tucker Carlson that I found pretty good if anyone wants to learn more about him. But I think he's like in the lead. I actually don't follow this very closely. We have one stacker who's doing Mi Primero Bitcoin in Argentina, or they're moving back. They're originally from Argentina, but came to the United States, and now they're moving back for Bitcoin education stuff. They've written about Milei a little bit. So he seems to be popular. He's on people's minds. But he's said some pro Bitcoin things. He says he wants to end the central bank in Argentina, which is pretty radical, but actually pretty reasonable when you look at the history of Argentina and their currency. Anyway, the content of this post though is mostly suggesting that Milei is actually not much of a Bitcoiner, and so we shouldn't raise him up as a Bitcoiner, and he'll just let us down if we do. The document you're scrolling through right now and reading in Spanish, because you speak Spanish, but you hide it. But I guess, but he says that in this document there's no mention of Bitcoin, and so that might
that's a red flag.
Yeah, that should maybe tip us off that he's maybe not actually that serious about it. He also mentions that I guess at some point he recommended a crypto platform called CoinX on Twitter or something that ended up being a scam.
Yeah.
He's had a criminal complaint against him or something.
We had Siggy47 with the top comment. It says it has to be hard to stop being the R word. Damn near impossible, I would think. Gosh.
Where did he say? He said I think he's responding to a specific thing he said in that post.
And then now it says, I was
stop being desperate and retarded.
One day I decided to be based and said true story is how I imagine that would go. Yeah. I like Jerry Garcia's comment. It says, I think you have coined a term going full Nick Carter. Excellent. Poor Nick.
Jerry Garcia is convinced they're actually Jerry Garcia, like the real Jerry Garcia.
It can't be Jerry Garcia, dude.
I don't know. I gave him a quiz on his bio. I was like, okay, prove it, you're Jerry Garcia. And he told me what heroin's like. He told me about his weight problems and health problems. So
he's probably just like Googled it. Who the heck is Nick Carter? Man, everybody just like hates on Nick Carter. What did you said right here, you are where the Bitcoin yield comes from. What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, think about all the Bitcoin influencers, the people, particularly the ones that are like, that are non-productive, the ones who, the ones who are most
the non-productive influencers,
the ones who are
like who?
I don't know anyone.
I feel like all the influencers are productive.
Okay, well,
maybe not Sailor. I think it's the only one that's not.
That's a point of view that you hold when you think the influencers they're gonna help you get some of their yield. But like, I think
their influencer yield.
Yes, the results of their influence. I'm talking about the class of people who like their only productive thing they do is they influence.
So Sailor is the only one that I know for sure. It's like that type of influencer.
Are you kidding? He's super productive. He runs.
Is he really? I thought he stepped down.
No, he ran that company for like 20 years. He's a single. He's probably more productive than any human being.
Is Sailor still the CEO though?
I think he's like co-CEO and chairman.
Oh, my bad, Sailor. I didn't mean that.
Even if he isn't, even if he was, it does. He's like
is he super productive?
He's still He's like a retired productive person.
Let's see. What does he do all day?
Well,
once just go like say Bitcoin, there is no second best. Oh, okay, yeah, he is the founder. My bad. Oh, so he's the chairman. Oh crap. Well, I shut Car up real quick.
Well, be good to do that ahead of time. But like, basically, what I'm saying is like, think the people that you're listening to and getting your information from. Think about how they're expecting to earn money from that because they are. And so like with the all the pre-coins and shit coins and stuff, what they're doing, what they're likely doing is using you in some fashion. And it's just good to be like aware. That's mostly what I mean by that. It's like how are these people cashing out is mostly what I think about sometimes.
Yeah, who knows, man? I don't pay attention too much to this. I just listen to the stackers. They influence me the most. I think we're going to see that more and more. And I'm not just joking. My long-term dark horse bet is that some of these stackers are going to be very influential. Well, that's my kind of long-term dark horse bet.
Yeah, I think my thing is mostly with influencers is that they didn't start out this way. It's just they began selling out. They began trying to cash out on their influence, just like with a pre-coin or like a shitcoin thing that eventually, a few years in, now they're like time to exit. And so what you want to do is probably find like very, more people earlier in their journey who are still earnest, they aren't corrupt, and start listening to them and build them up and grow with them instead of whoever else.
I think so. Sounds about right. The next top story is Mutiny Wallet. Self-hosting fixes this. This is a Prism post from Ben Carmen. 15 comments, 25K boost, 9,743 sats. October 2nd Bitcoin post. Keyan, what's this?
This is another post from Mutiny. I really hope they keep this up. I think doing one of these a week will keep them on everyone's mind forever. And because they're all like very good at writing.
They did 2 this week.
Yeah, right. They're just killing it. But basically what ended up happening was they were using a Cloudflare product to store all of your like node backups, because Mutiny is a node that runs in a browser on your phone or device. But in order to you want to have a backup of that in case your browser like loses all of that data. So they were storing it in a Cloudflare product, but that became unreliable at some point. And so what they did was they rewrote it using open source tools, Postgres, and providing, I guess, their own like API and stuff to it. but this, what the result of that is now you can host your own, you can move to a more self-sovereign version of Mutiny where you aren't dependent on a bunch of services that Mutiny is running for you. And I think this might be one of few remaining components that you couldn't easily run yourself. The rest of Mutiny might be at this point already self-hostable, and this is the last piece. So you could legit just fork off of Mutiny now and continue to have the same experience, I believe, or maybe there's a few more components.
It's like Paul put all the GitHub stuff in the in the blog post, so you can definitely check that out. So really cool, man.
Yeah, really cool. Very cool to see their progress. I think they also had another post this week or maybe the week before about the gifting thing, which is like kind of reminds me of that product LightSats that won Bolt Fun.
Forgot about that
a while ago. But this, baked into a wallet, it's pretty
bullish.
Yeah, pretty dope.
Yeah, I had Ben on the pod today on Thriller, so I'll try to release that on Monday. But we get into all this stuff. We get into this, some Nostr stuff, some AI stuff. Yeah,
AI. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they're gonna do like AI stuff.
So I'll release that on Monday. But dude, really bullish on this team, man. We got a WEF official saying, "Wow, thanks for the 100% forward, Ben." This is that's Paul, right? Did he lose his Paul account?
Yeah, I think he probably did Ellen Oth, and
that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, he could, if he wanted, he can self-authentic. He can like physically authenticate himself with me if he wanted to.
Oh, you got no account. He said, curious why the dependency on Blockstream Explorer when mempool/mempool seems to have more adoption for an Umbrel app of Mutiny, but Explorer also need to be packaged for Umbrel. Tony jumps in. He says, that's what the mempool project uses as a backend API, which they expose. They were using Blockstream Explorer until they forked it a few months ago. So yes, you may use mempool with the Explorer backend or mempool Explorer fork 2. And then no account says TIL amazing. What's Explorer, Keyan? What is that? I keep seeing that from time to time.
Yeah, I believe it's like it takes all the blockchain data and makes it queryable, is my understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. The next top story is brute force, and the coins are yours. This is from Q. 24 comments, 3,456 sats. Bitcoin posts, baby. What is this?
Yeah, these are fun when you see these. I mean, I don't know what's actually, but apparently they created a paper wallet a few years ago, and they made it with a passphrase, and they forgot the passphrase.
Wow.
Which is a common self-rug story. And so they've kind of given up on trying to remember the passphrase, and they're now just opening it up for people to try to brute force it and figure out.
Somebody figure it out?
Probably not. If you open the mempool link, there is still.
Does
Bitcoin
he have
in
any
the
other
address.
words though? Does he have like maybe?
He didn't give much of a hint at all. He said there's probably not more than 30 characters.
30 what?
30 characters.
Oh,
30 characters is a lot. That's like a lot of compute that you need to brute force that.
Did he see how much Bitcoin?
Oh, here we go. There's that picture, and that picture there tells you how long it'll take.
Did he say how much Bitcoin is on there?
Yeah. So if it's 18 characters, it'll take you, and it uses a mixture of symbols and numbers and stuff. It'll take 7 quadrillion years.
But he made it from this bit address though?
He made it from this bit address side, I guess.
I figured, yeah, somebody could figure this out. Did Jimmy Song ever tell you his story where he like was able to figure out? It was like something similar to this, but I don't remember exactly. But I remember a long time ago, he told me a story about like doing something similar, and he was able to figure out, like, be able to retrieve the Bitcoin with like, just by being Jimmy Song, basically. I forget how the story goes, but it was something similar if I remember it correctly.
It's a very common story where our friend Kyle had this issue.
Oh, I remember
part
that.
of what put him on the map when he moved to Austin was he was like, I forgot my passphrase. I think he had a foundation device, and he forgot his passphrase, but it allowed him an unlimited number of attempts to get in. So he eventually figured it out because I guess he went through his like own dictionary of passwords.
Crazy.
Normally
Well,
uses.
stackers, if you figure it out, definitely post in the same post. Keep us informed. I think they'll figure it out.
I don't know, 30 characters. He probably didn't use a 30 character password.
Wait, so much Bitcoin? Oh, it's only 148.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Ah,
Yeah,
come on, man.
500,000 sats.
Somebody send more to this address. So you can pump it, or don't.
Pump it.
Wow, that's cool. The final top story is how Bitcoin changed my life. This is from Monotone. 20 comments, 4,763 sats. This is October 4th. Bitcoin post, baby.
Yeah, I mean, this is a kind of a common story we hear among Bitcoiners, where they they got in, they learned about it early, then really got serious about it in 2017.
Yeah, your typical.
Yeah,
typical story.
Yeah, but then they changed. And then a lot of their life ended up changing as a result of getting into Bitcoin. They became conscious of many of their consumption habits.
Interesting.
And their privacy, their health and fitness, and so that's kind of the story here. And this is Monotone, who is now living in Georgia, having fled Russia and experienced some financial difficulties there as a result of the war. But we're getting to learn a little bit more about Monotone and their life, and what brought them to this point to be now free in Georgia, paying their rent in Bitcoin.
Yeah,
living the dream.
Living the dream. Monotone says at the end, also a huge thank you to the Stacker News community, where I find a lot of like-minded people, learn tons of useful information, continually evolve and learn. You guys are awesome, guys and gals.
Yeah, that's right. There's gals. There's at least a couple gals on Stacker.
We got Darth Quinn at the top comment. It says, "This is a key aspect. You are on the right path. Few others can understand this. Well done." And then Monotone says, "Your manuals, by the way, I constantly advise my friends to read. Thanks." Yeah,
that's nice.
Keyan, how has Bitcoin changed you, Keyan?
I don't know. I don't think I've changed a whole. It's kind of sad because I look at these stories and I'm like, dang, I wish I had a Bitcoin change story. I feel like I've always been a curmudgeon. I've always been, you know what I mean? Like I've always been cheap. I've always been.
You just bought a new desk, buddy.
I did buy a new desk, but I needed a new desk. When I'm spending 80 hours a week working, it's kind of important. But I've always been sort of that way, at least following my my early adulthood. When I switched over, it was, but it's related to like Bitcoin like things, like learning about minarchism, anarchism, libertarianism, and thinking a little more carefully about where I fit in the world. And that's, I think, what Bitcoin initiates for a lot of people.
Yeah. I think for me, I think a lot has changed for me, but I think I've come to realize the friends around me have changed more so than any other aspect of my life, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also what Natalia says, got rid of hang on. I stopped paying attention to all those noise and slowly gradually learning how to make my own things, which is more fun. Like the noise that I used to pay attention to, which I don't pay attention to anymore. Which is also good. I think just like clarity, it just brings more clarity. So I think for me, the clarity and the friends also, it's different.
Yeah, I think it probably did change. Like thinking about it more, it probably did change my my timeline, like the way I think about time a little more. Like it's less of a race and it's more of a
that's true.
Do it the right way. That's like one thing I think that has probably
the low time preference thing.
I think that's probably one of it. Is like I don't feel as needy for things.
Me too. Yeah, I would say that's a good observation. Yeah, you're just more comfortable sitting in and working through it. Whatever that is. Yeah, that's interesting. Good post. That rounds out the top 5 posts of the week on Stacker News Live. We're going to jump into our own personal post that we like this week. I'm going to go with me first. This one I wanted to bring up. It's Oshi updates Bitcoin infused rewards loyalty program features. This is from Michael. 17 comments, 3,994 sats. I just want to highlight this just because we use Oshi here at the lab. Michael's a good friend of ours, and I think he finally released the thing that a lot of these kind of loyalty rewards backed products that are out there, and I think he does it the best, dude. We've been using it for the past like 3 months, or 3 or 4 months in stealth. And I'm finally happy for him that he's been able to get this out there to the masses. Have you looked at this, Keyan? Do you like the Oshi rewards that you get from PlebLab?
I mean, I say in the comments there, I responded. I wanted to be like, hey, this is what it's like. And so I gave my experience being on the receiving end of the rewards. But there, if you scroll down a little bit, yeah, there you go.
Oh, you did.
There's me paying my rent. This literally reminded me to pay my rent. And I took a couple screenshots while I did it. But it's cool. I mean, I'm like, I needed to top up my Stacker News wallet, and I just, this got 20,000 sats to do it.
That's what's cool about the Oshi rewards thing is that you get, like, for us on our side, all we got to do is just hook right into that. He makes it very easy for the on ramping of a business, and then we literally just
it's like a Square plugin, right?
No, he has his whole platform that I can haven't logged into it in a while. I would log it into it, but I want to dox how much stats we're giving away, but or any other stuff. But it works really well. I'm really impressed with like what him and his co-founder have been able to do.
But it's tied into Square because I just pay Square and then I get this.
Oh yeah, as far as like for me, like it's tied in. I mean, far as for you, the customer, the client, whatever, it's tied in for you via Square. But for us on the back end, there's a whole platform that I get to see and see who's claimed, and like it's amazing, dude. The amount of metrics and anyways, I just wanted to share this. If there's any, I know a lot of stackers are like, oh man, we need to get this person on. This is the easiest way, I would say, not only to like orange pill users, but this is also retains clients or customers that you have in your own business. So if you have your own business stacker, like consider using Oshi rewards. It works because there's a lot of products out there doing similar things now. You're seeing more of these companies kind of copy what they had, started. And I think Michael's the best because he's been doing it for a lot longer and is more intentional and just better quality stuff in my opinion. But I'm biased, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think the experience is really cool. What I really like about it is I don't have to sign up for anything. I just get the sats, and that's like kind of that's real. If it weren't like that, I wouldn't. It would be very difficult for me to have good things to say. But Michael knows, and so I get a link. I get an email with a link in it. I go to the email link, and I can send. I can pay a Bitcoin invoice from that page, and I don't have to sign up for anything.
There's something to be said about people just focused on one singular problem for multiple years in a row.
Yeah.
And so as long as I've known Michael, he's focused on this rewards problem. And bullish. The other top story I wanted to bring up was this. Did you hear about this? The get your corn off exchanges mid-October liquidity crisis. This is one from Block Talk.
Yeah, I read it.
What did you think about this? This is kind of crazy. He even picks the spot where we're at right now.
Yeah, I mean it's
very doomer porn, but
it is.
Got me to click on it.
I mean it's regardless of what's in the actual article, the message I think is good is that we're likely entering a pretty nasty economic period, and it's as we were covering in the Gold Post, it's we don't know what will end up resulting from that. Governments tend to get weird. People tend to get weird. So it's better to, begin working on your defenses now.
Are you ready, Keyan?
Nope, I'm not ready, but I hope other people have the capacity to be ready. These things tend to be okay for I would say, I think, if you read any Dalio, he says like the upper 60-70% of people are okay, but it's like everywhere below that they have a really hard time. And so I don't know I don't know exactly where I fit on that line, but I hope it's not in the one where it's terrible. And
I would say what he says here, get your Bitcoin off exchanges if you have any. I don't think any of the stackers have that problem personally, but if you do, or if you know a brother or sister, an aunt or an uncle that has a Coinbase account or something, call them up and say, hey, get it off an exchange. I imagine that's the least you could do. Yeah, man. Crazy stuff. We got the top comment from Bitcoin Sandy. Says, what the hell is an exchange? See, got some base stackers there.
Yeah, dude. Someone said, nah. So people probably are still good with they still believe in exchanges too. You never know. You never know. But I think it's better, with Bitcoin, you don't need to put it on, you don't need to hold it on an exchange. What is it on an exchange for? Exchange is not for storage, it's for exchanging. So if you don't want to exchange it, spend the week or two that it requires you to figure out.
He says here, be prepared, plebs, please! Exclamation point. Yeah, that's my 2 top stories of the week. The next one is Keyan's Lynn Alden Book Club Part 1. This is 63 comments, 101,000 sats. Elvis Mercury Bitcoin posts.
Yeah, this is really good. So Elvis Mercury decided to do a Lynn Alden book club all on their own. Lynn Alden released this book a few weeks ago called Broken Money. Basically goes over the history of money. It's like if you ever read Szabo's Shelling Out, it's basically a book version of that written in Lynn Alden style, which for many people is much more comfortable to read than Szabo. Anyway, Elvis Mercury decided to do this book club. This was our first session of the book club. We read through part 1 of the book. I almost got through all of part 1, but I did not make it all the way. But there's a lot of really interesting discussion in here. Like Elvis Mercury brings, I like a very nuanced and thoughtful point of view to things, and really challenges people to think. Challenges me to think, certainly. Just a lot of really good discussion in here. It's like a great compliment to Lynn Alden's book. If you Elvis Mercury shares their own notes on the book and gives you prompts to kind of think about while you're reading the book, and come back and discuss it with us. I still need to go back and finish the last bit of part 1 that I haven't read, and then spend more time in here. But I could literally spend a lot of time replying in here and learning a lot. Like we were at one point, Elvis Mercury and I were discussing Dunbar's number, and then we came to the realization that maybe Dunbar's number is like the human limit on like the ledger that you can keep in your memory. Yeah. And that's really what that represents. And like money is an attempt to externalize Dunbar's number. And then Bitcoin is an attempt to make that external ledger like quite resilient. And so there's it gets quite deep, and it's a great compliment. We're going to continue doing these. Elvis Mercury posted.
Did you guys forward some of this to Lynn or no? Because I know she's been on Stacker News.
She has been on Stacker News. I don't know.
Didn't forward anything there?
I don't know if Elvis Mercury knows about the forwarding feature. This is doing Lynn a lot of good without sending her sats. I think it got me to buy
as far as
copy.
Notifications. You mean? Or?
No,
because you guys could prism out like a little.
This is marketing for Lynn. This is I bought a book. Like several of us bought books to participate in the book club.
So you don't want to send her any sats because you guys are already doing a.
I didn't make this post, is what I'm saying. So I'm.
Come on, Elvis Mercury, shoot over like 20%, bro. It's 101,000 sats. I'm sure you could.
I don't think Elvis Mercury is like hoarding the sats or anything, but it probably just didn't occur to them that Lynn was already on.
Yeah, she's on Stacker. I remember she did AMA.
She did do an AMA, but that was like a year ago.
Though. Yeah, but she was early, bro. She's an early stacker.
Anyway, buy a copy of her book. It's probably might do as much good as sats. And come join us next week for the discussion here.
Yeah, it's good stuff. If Lynn Alden's listening, come check it out. Look at what they're saying about your book. Are you guys going to do one on Jimmy's or no?
That'd be cool. I think fortunately, in this case, we have someone like Elvis Mercury who wants to, take the lead.
Cool. Because you still got there's so many book releases. So like Jimmy's, Parker's, Lynn's, Sace, right? Who else? I think Nick Bhatia is releasing a book now too.
That's right. Yeah, lots of Bitcoin books coming out. It just it requires someone to want to initiate the book club, and be the one to lead it. That's Elvis Mercury took the lead here. So
are you almost done reading it?
I'm almost done with part 1.
Oh, cool.
So Yeah, we're gonna go. I think we're gonna do sections. There's like 6 or 7
so
in
you
the
can
book.
get it on Amazon. So
You can get it on Amazon. You can also buy it at Safe Dean's new publishing house, because he releases on publishing house, and you can pay with Bitcoin, which I believe uses Zaprite.
There you go. The next top story that Keyan picked was, or no, this is Meta, right?
This is Meta.
This is Meta. So top Meta this week were Max Fang and Philip Hayes, co-founders of Lexe, Lexe AMA app, or app AMA. 41 comments, 22,000 sats, Bitcoin post, October 5th from Max. What is this, Keyan?
Yeah. So Lex released, I think it was like a week or two ago, but basically they're a Bitcoin, they're a a kind of hybrid type of mobile Lightning wallet where they host the node for you, and I believe they also encrypt your key in the cloud.
Like a Greenlight thing or something?
Kind of like a Greenlight. So if you're familiar with Greenlight, it's quite a bit like Greenlight, although it's using LDK. And then they're also, I think they're storing, to give you offline receives. They're also storing, I believe, your key in the cloud or something like. No, maybe the key is still on the device. I actually don't know much, but it's a lot like Greenlight. They're using LDK. I think they run your node in like an SGX environment, which is like this Intel hardware secure thing that some people are skeptical of. They have more there, but
yeah, it looks like this week. So the secure communication with the enclave.
Enclave, that's what it's called.
All communication between the user's mobile app and the user's Lightning node is done over TLS, which guarantees confidentiality, integrity, authentication.
Anyways, it's another variation on an attempt to reach the ideal Lightning wallet UX.
TLS, yeah, isn't there like TLS 1.3, TLS?
I mean, they do version upgrades to these
like frequently, don't they?
Protocols, but it's all the same TLS. Like when someone says TLS, they mean the same thing.
So we got Tony, top comment. It says, appreciate all the hard work and thoughtfulness with the security considerations file. I'm just still unsure that it's wise to be doing this. The attack vector for crypto, SGX, honeypots are high. At the end of the day, you have to extract the seed in order to present it to the user and do occasional SGX server migrations, which will require the seed again to provision. Is this all so that you can offer offline receipts for consumers? Because this is being worked on as far as the concept of Lightning goes. Or did you see this as something you get enterprise customers with that already feel confident in the SGX model, whether that is wise or not? And then Max jumps in. He says, the terms of there being a quote honeypot end quote due to keys being centralized one place, SGX makes these things more secure, not less. Someone wants to hack a centralized custodian like Coinbase or Binance. All the attacker has to do is get into their infrastructure to get access to their funds. If someone wants to hack us, they have to get first into our infrastructure and then also break SGX. We believe that despite expected protocol advancements in handling async payments, offline receives, PTLCs, etc., the problem is fundamental. Someone has to come online in order to settle the payment. Our approach is simple: just keep the user online. Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of good.
There's good back and forth there.
Yeah, a lot of good back and forth with the team from Mutiny and Lex, because they have some disagreement, I believe, on what the future of this will look like.
Is it trade-offs that Lex is making?
Yes,
or is that the right word?
That's what Tony was getting to there in that comment. Was that, I mean, basically they're hosting all the information for you, and they're doing it in the secure environment. But as Tony said in that comment, the key is in the cloud ultimately. So
we got Ben jumping in. He says, I love the concept of doing this, basically self-custodial without the UX trade-offs. However, it relies on SGX security model, which as far as I know has been compromised tons of times. Do you guys have any concerns about this? And then Philip jumped in and said, self-custodial without compromise is absolutely what we're aiming for. As far as SGX security, it has been pretty good about releasing mitigations and TCB recoveries in a timely manner. Usually that means we need to change a few compiler flags. Adding on to that, Philip said, we also try to do practical and architect things in a way. Wow. It's crazy that the guys from Mutiny have already looked at this exact same thing.
Yeah, well, the XGX stuff is pretty
Is it well known?
I mean,
First time ever.
It's well discussed in Bitcoin because we see a lot of solutions that attempt to use it to get security in situations where you might not. But it hasn't proven to be like
right here,
like impenetrable. It like all software, it's vulnerable.
Yeah, this is not good.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's enough for me to not use it. I hate to be that guy, but well,
I mean,
I think figure it out.
I think what's kind of cool about all the experimentation with seeing on Lightning is you'll have different customers reaching for different.
It's a beautiful.
trade-offs.
I mean, look at the wallet. It's beautiful, right?
Yeah, it looks like a nice, pretty wallet.
But I don't know. Cool. Are you going to use it?
I don't know. Maybe I still need to start using Mutiny, which I haven't become. I intended to switch from Breeze to Mutiny, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
So once I do that, maybe I'll begin doing other things. I don't know.
Cool. Awesome. That's all the top posts and our posts that we have this week, Stackers. We're going to jump into the top Stackers of the week.
We had Meta.
Oh, we had another Meta one? Okay, my bad. Which one did we have?
It's in top, and it's going to be in. You want to go to Meta in the top bar.
Oh, it should be down there, but it's okay. This one here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. One more Meta post. What is this, Keyan?
Yeah.
The Nostr cross
Yeah,
post.
so this is just our release this week. So we'll go over it fast. But so we now give rewards randomly. So at night it's either the top posters or the top zappers. We do Nostr cross posting. We have more like Lightning address features. You can now do quote replies pretty easily. And we also do mention autocompletes. There were some updates to search to allow you to do range selection, and another small improvement to filters there.
Look at all these contributors.
Yeah, lots of great outside help. It goes like a really long way.
Good job, team.
So I'm very fortunate and grateful.
Cool, man.
Yeah,
you guys are doing it. Look at this. Wild Hustlers love to Stacker News. Continued development.
Wild Hustle.
You said Stacker News continued development loves you back. And we are also Toshi. Really awesome work, everyone. Stacker News gets better every day. It does get better every day.
Well, I mean, at least every week, usually.
You're here pretty late, man.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily getting better every day. That's all I'm saying. You gotta keep it real, dude. Keep it real.
This is which segment this is, again?
This is super stat segment. This is where we go over the top stackers for the week. We often go over the top spenders, and we often go over the top cowboys. But Car doesn't like the top cowboys, and he skips the top spenders. He always forgets everything. But anyway, the top
stackers. Who are the top stackers? Yeah.
Top stackers this week are Siggy47.
Woo, Siggy!
Siggy's always doing a great job stacking.
Ride or die stacker to the end.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Design sets. What's this?
Design sats. Oh, what did they do? They're doing gosh, I think they've been doing these like
Zap them.
They've been doing these like Stacker News like type of art things, I think. Cool. I'm actually not sure. Elvis Mercury stacked a lot with their book club.
Yeah.
I didn't stack very much. Bird Eye, Bitcoin Interest.
Who's Bitcoin Interest? This is what I do. Zap them.
Zap them, guys. Yeah, lots of top stackers. Pretty. It's really cool seeing like the top people that like the numbers get higher.
Rsync's right at our stacker too, man.
We're in
this guy
5-digit territory now.
Zap them. Dude, apparently when I do this, people are zapping.
Are they?
Yeah, on the show. People zap. Rsync deserves a zap.
Sure, guys, zap them, man.
Cool. The top
spenders.
Wait, where's it say
stackers are the people.
Where's this? I feel like that should be on this side, but
I know.
Tomatoes.
I mean, I wish you would just help out, Marcus.
I'm just kidding. You are the top spender, Keyan. What happened?
Oh no. Gosh, again. But
Blockstream?
Blockstream's right behind me. So Blockstream is our current the current person going to be running.
Is that Adam Back? Is Adam Back running?
Yeah, Adam Back. He handles all the socials for Blockstream.
I'm just saying.
Guy's got so much time on his hands.
Adam Back. Thank you, Adam.
$1 billion first.
Does he on Stacker News? Has he ever come on Stacker News?
I think he has been on Stacker News for like an AMA they did on the Jade or something.
Oh, cool. Well,
yeah.
Thank you, Adam, for your stats. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Ions. What? Ion.
Onizel.
Yeah. And then we got Ben the Carmen. Wow. Zap him. Zap him. That's what we do. Just zap them. Zap them, stackers.
Zap them.
Dude, people love this segment. Until we get to, there's Max right there. Until we get to the most boring segment in Bitcoin. Top Cowboys. Yeehaw, Keyan.
Yeehaw. Ride them till they drop. Yeehaw. Okay, but yeah, so Siggy's still at the top. No one's gonna unseat Siggy. I don't think it's gonna happen. Exeus right on his tail. Orthworm. Me, I'm in fourth. I can't get out of fourth. These guys are just too good. Gray Ruby also up there. Catford, Bird Eye. I'd look for Car, but he's probably nowhere to be seen, unfortunately.
I am in here. Look, I'm in here somewhere.
Probably at the very bottom of the list. He probably just found a cowboy hat today.
Dude, I don't have time to go on Stacker News every day. And I don't know how to continue the stack. Look, right there. Boom. Get out of my face.
Wow. It's like
boom, right
bottom
there.
5.
Hey, I have 0 referrals. Man, who has the most referrals? 7. Oh, GMD.
I think Darth, you can actually sort by
you have 113 referrals? Jeez.
You can go to, if you go to top stackers.
Top Schiller right
top
there.
Top stackers by referrals. It show you how many referrals.
Yeah, look, Ben Carmen's there too. It's top cowboy. I don't know, man.
You don't know. Yeah, you're not a cowboy.
Not a cowboy.
You wore cowboy.
We got some comments. You ready for the comments? You got some spicy comments in here. You ready for it? Blockchain Boog.
I guess I'm ready.
Blockchain Boog. He's making the rounds, bro.
Is he?
Yeah.
Where?
I had a person. I won't say who it is. I think you know, Keyan, but a person came and visited the lab this week, and they're like, "Hey, that Blockchain Boog guy is really hard in the paint with some of his comments." I was just like, "Wow."
Oh, I think I recall what you were.
Yeah, we won't say who it is. Won't say who it is, but Blockchain Boog's making the rounds. He commented last week's post. He says, "I like the idea for AMA. Let stackers ask questions, then let the stackers use sats to vote." Do you remember that?
Oh,
He was talking about the AMA.
Oh yeah, that was the round table. Yeah, that's it. I like that too.
I think he's right on that. And then I think that was the only one. Is that the only one? There's another one. There's another one. Let me see. Here it goes. Let me see.
This is the show.
Oh yeah. Buttercup
ahead.
said, "You moomers," in quotations, "are fun.
Moomers.
Thanks for your service. Heart."
That's right. We've coined the term moomers to describe millennials.
Millennial boomers.
Yeah.
Boomers. I think that could take off, dude.
I think it can too. I think it's legit.
We just coined it. Keyan, what are you doing this week?
What am I doing? I'm going to put my desk together maybe tonight.
Oh, wow.
We're out of beer here, so probably.
No, there's some Shiner inside the fridge.
Oh, is there?
No, in the closet. You got to put it in the fridge.
Man. Okay, yeah, I'll put some in there. Maybe I'll drink a beer, put my desk together.
There's some liquor too. I mean, if you want to go crazy.
I still owe these guys.
I know, stackers.
We'll have to have like a drunk Stacker News Live sometime, but maybe once I release subs, we'll do like a.
Maybe we should do that for Halloween. We're doing the Halloween party.
Oh,
maybe for Halloween we should do it.
Yeah,
27th.
I'm gonna be Willy Wonka. What are you gonna be?
Oh, for Halloween?
Yeah.
I don't know. What was I last year? I was Jason last year.
It's too easy. It's like such a I'm a cool guy. I'm gonna continue being a cool guy.
No, I had to wear a mask the whole time.
But you didn't wear it though.
I really want to be like the guy from The Walking Dead, either the guy with the bat or the Negan. You're a
Negan?
I want to be Negan.
You're team Negan? Oh, dude, I don't
even watch that anymore. Is he still alive?
I don't know. I had to stop watching because I hate Negan. He's like the worst.
He was one of the best. Him and Daryl are like the best. No?
I don't like Negan. He's like a bad person.
No, I think he has an arc. I think he comes back.
I think he probably does come back. It doesn't matter. It's not. It's also not realistic. You're not that bad of a person, and then you become a good person. It's just not.
I was just thinking for a Halloween costume.
I mean, yeah, it's like you pick.
Or Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, you should be Edward Scissorhands.
I saw that movie recently. It still holds.
Oh, you'd be a great Edward. You should
I don't
do
have
it.
long enough hair though. I would have to get the thing.
Oh, get a wig. Go with me to.
Like that, and then just do, all he wears is just black leather.
I'm gonna go to like Congress and that like Halloween shop on Congress.
Walks around like that. Do you remember that movie, dude? You remember that movie?
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
I know it's a good movie. People like it. I watched that. Did you watch that series with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? Their like trial on Netflix. Well, I binged that like one weekend.
How bad is it?
It's pretty bad. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to watch because you're like, this lady seems full of shit. And
I can't watch that stuff, dude.
Johnny Depp is so cool.
I don't know, for some reason I can't just watch that stuff. It like, yeah, I don't know.
Same reason you can't keep your cowboy hat. They must be related. What are you doing this weekend?
I want to go to ACL tomorrow. That's what I want to do.
Who's playing?
I think Kendrick is playing. I think he's closing it out.
Wow.
I think the Volta are also playing. Like I want to go to I want to go to ACL this weekend. I'll figure out a way to go. Maybe after the workshop tomorrow.
Mars Volta is like, I think that was like the first band I ever saw live.
Good, they're so good. Yeah. Anyways, Stackers, you have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you next time.
Zap.